and do not fear, human search. Scent the void between stars had never felt so vast to Captain Ellis Morgan. The rescue vessel, Prometheus, drifted through the nebula's crimson tendrils, its hull reflecting the cosmic dust that shimmered like blood in the light of distant suns. 6 months since the distress signal, 6 months of chasing ghosts. Anything? Morgan asked, leaning over Lieutenant Reed's shoulder. Reed shook his head. Nothing beyond the usual background radiation. Whatever sent that signal is either dormant or... He left the alternative unspoken. Keep scanning, Morgan ordered. They're out there. The distress call had reached Earth 9 months ago. Fragmented data packets from the Artemis, a deep space research vessel that had vanished while exploring the Helios Nebula. A human crew of 32 gone without explanation. The signal contained just 5 words. Do not fear. Human search sent. The Control Council had debated for weeks before approving the rescue mission. Interstellar travel was still prohibitively expensive, and the Helios Nebula lay at the edge of explored space. But Morgan had pushed. The Artemis crew deserved a chance, however slim. Contact. Reed's voice cut through Morgan's thoughts. Port bow, distance 12,000 kilometers. The bridge crew tensed as the viewer displayed a massive structure tumbling slowly through space, a vessel of alien design, its surface covered in geometric patterns that seemed to shift and move as they watched. Life signs? Morgan asked. Multiple, Reed confirmed. And, Captain, I'm detecting human biosignatures. Hope and dread warred in Morgan's chest. Match for the Artemis crew? Unable to confirm, Reed replied. But definitely human, Morgan straightened. Prepare boarding shuttle, alert medical. Captain, First Officer Tanner interrupted. Protocols dictate. I know the protocols, James, Morgan said. But that ship might have our people on it. The shuttle approached the alien vessel cautiously. Up close, the geometric patterns resolved into complex circuitry that pulsed with dim blue light. No visible propulsion system. No weapons that they could detect. Just an enormous, silent leviathan drifting through the cosmos. There, Navigator Wilson pointed to a section of the hull that had parted, revealing an entrance. Looks like an invitation. Morgan nodded. Take us in. The shuttle glided into a cavernous docking bay that sealed behind them. Gravity established itself, Earth standard, which couldn't be coincidence. Suited and armed, Morgan led the team out. The alien ship's atmosphere read as breathable, but protocol demanded caution. They moved through corridors lit by the same blue circuitry, their footsteps echoing. This way, Reed whispered, tracking the human biosignatures on his scanner. They found the first survivor in a chamber that resembled a medical bay. Dr. Alan Pierce, the Artemis's chief medical officer, monitored displays showing data in an unfamiliar script. He turned as they entered, his face breaking into a smile beneath his unkempt beard. Captain Morgan, he said, right on schedule. Morgan stared. Dr. Pierce, you're alive. Very much so, Pierce confirmed. All of us are. The distress signal wasn't a distress signal, Pierce interrupted. It was a welcome. He led them deeper into the vessel, explaining as they walked. The Artemis had encountered the alien ship, which the crew had named the Wayfarer, adrift and powered down. Initial scans had detected no life, so they had boarded to investigate. They were waiting for us, Pierce said. Had been for centuries. They entered a vast central chamber where the rest of the Artemis crew worked alongside tall, slender beings, with iridescent skin that shifted color as they moved. The aliens turned as Morgan's team entered, their expressions unreadable, but somehow welcoming. They call themselves the Architects, Pierce explained. An ancient species that has observed humanity's development for millennia. They've been waiting for us to reach a point where direct contact would be productive. They were afraid we weren't ready, added Commander Thomas, the Artemis's captain, approaching with one of the architects. That's why they waited out. Here at the edge of our reach. The architect extended a hand, 6 slender fingers arranged in a spiral pattern. Its skin rippled from blue to green. They communicate primarily through a form of telepathy, Thomas explained. But they've been learning our languages. As if on cue, the architect spoke, its voice melodic and precise. Humans search. Always. Search. This is your strength. Morgan felt a presence brush against his mind. Gentle, curious, ancient. Images flashed. Earth seen from orbit. Human cities growing and spreading. The first lunar colony. Mars. The Jupiter stations. The void between stars, and finally the Prometheus arriving at the nebula. They've been watching us evolve, Pierce said. They want to guide us to help us avoid the mistakes they made millennia ago. But they needed to be sure we were ready. Ready for what? Morgan asked. The architect's colors shifted to a deep purple. The others. Those who do not welcome seekers. More images flooded Morgan's mind. Vast armadas of crystalline ships, worlds burning, species extinguished. A war that had raged across galaxies for eons. The architects are refugees, Thomas explained. The last of their kind. They've been searching for allies, species with the right balance of curiosity and compassion. They believe humanity might be what they've been looking for. And the signal? Morgan asked. A test, Pierce replied. To see if we would come even, at great cost, to save our own, to see if our search for knowledge included a search for each other. The architect spoke again. You passed. Humans search for truth, for knowledge, for your own kind. This is good. Morgan looked around at the chamber where humans and architects worked side by side. And the Artemis crew chose to stay? Thomas nodded. We're learning from them, Captain. Technology beyond our wildest dreams. Medicine, physics, sustainable. Energy. Knowledge that could transform Earth. And in return? Morgan asked. In return, the architect answered, you will help us search. For others like us. For new homes. For hope. Morgan understood then. The message hadn't been a distress call, it had been reassurance. Do not fear. Human search sent. The architects had recognized that humanity's drive to explore, to seek, to find what was lost, might be the very quality that would save them both. We need to report this, Morgan said finally. Thomas nodded. That's why we sent the signal. That's why you're here. Earth needs to know. We're not alone and we're not unprepared. He gestured toward the chamber's far wall, which dissolved to reveal a viewport. The nebula stretched before them, but beyond it, stars unnumbered glittered in the black. The search has just begun, the architect said. Morgan felt the weight of the moment settle over him. Humanity had been searching the stars for centuries, hoping to find intelligent life, never imagining that intelligent life had been searching for them, too. Do not fear, the architect repeated. Human search sent and human search found.